So I'm going to do a how did I make the True Targets explanation video in Ableton Live for people who like doing that sort of stuff. First of all, you need a test track that goes nowhere. So I just say sends only. I don't have any sends. So a blank track, pink noise generator, pink noise, a stand-in for your filters, or your measurements, just a mono utility, just because, a stand-in here for the crossover for that particular group of speakers, and then a measuring and working out Mfreeformequalizer at the end. So this is your working out plugin. So what you do is you have to go to one of your groups. Let's just say high mid, and then you have to find your measurements that you did. In my case, I did a left and a right, and you have to open up the right. I'll do it now. You have to copy your measurements. This is old one, so this is my old one. These are my measurements that I copied. This is my fun time result at the end. So these are my two measurements. Near field always has a lower noise floor, and main listening position always has a higher noise floor, and this is the difference. We just click make one sound like the other, which is make green sound like red, and in this case you always have to make sure that you're making near field sound like main listening. That's why it has to be in a particular order. So here's the near field red, and to make the so here's the main listening position in red, and near field's in green. So to make near field sound like main listening, it had to go down. So we're trying to find the result. Even though they call it true target, this is the true result of what happens to something when you measure it close then far. This is what happened when it got far. So this is what we're trying to copy. And I just copy this particular plugin's instance with the copy button. Like that. And I'll close that plugin. Then I go to our test track. Boom. And then just for this thing, we're going to open up this one. I was working on something else. There's something else in here. This is with something else, the sub. Let's just go to, we're working on the high mid, so let's press paste. So we're going to work on the high mid. And what I really need from this first instance is the MLP. So the MLP is in red, and I'm just going to make sure that it's still in the buffer, so I'm actually going to go to the result. This is in the filters, results, crossovers. So results, I also need to paste in here as well, so double paste. So now we have the MLP data in the red slot because it's got the highest noise floor. We need to swap it to the green slot. So now MLP is in green slot. I need to just reset the correction, and I need to get rid of the red one because it's going to annoy us. So I'm just going to quickly bang, bang. So now it's gone. So now we have MLP in green. That's all we need to know, and it's in the test bed at the end. We also need the crossover for this particular set of speakers. So I'll go to high mid. That's high mid, my system. The crossover is, must be here somewhere. Right, there's my crossovers. I just called it HP for some reason. Control copy. Go to my test track. Go to the area stand-in for the crossovers. Control paste. Boom. Right, so I've got the crossovers in here. Don't really need to show it to you, but it's just a, I will show it to you anyway. It's just a soloed band here for my high mids. Trying not to kill everything while I'm doing it. And I also just did a little scallop, so that's really neither here nor there. So here's my stand-in. And in the test data we have to make sure, like I showed you before, that it's the right way up. Make this equal that, yep. And so this is what happened to our sound from near to far. It always has to be that. So we're going to now record what's happened to any sound. It could be pink, it could be our filter, it could be anything. So the noise is coming through the what happened, it's going through the bandpass, and now it's going to be the comparison to our measured bandpass with pink noise, because that's what that was. And now I'm going to put in the what happened. This is the what happened part, synthetically. It's adding, make sure there's another thing you have to make sure. You have to make sure your what happened is set to stereo. It's just because it's putting out a incorrect. So now that's on stereo, make sure that's on stereo. We're doing what happened through our filters, bandpass, and we're capturing it. So now if I do it again, capture again. So it'll look less pink this time. It would have been a 50-50 blend. So this will be the right one, and let it go for a minute or whatever, but just for now we'll just do that much. So here is our synthetic what happens to pink noise through our what happened filter and our bandpass filter, and this is what happened when we measured in the cabinet the main listening position to actual pink noise through our actual filter. And what happens when I'm going to press this, make the MLP conform to what's meant to happen in the cabin difference, only cabin influence, right? So make that, and what happens is it chops it off because it's at the wrong scale, because the synthetic was too low, and we only have 12 or so to play with, 20, 40, whatever. We don't have 100 to play with. So you just look at, for this frequency here, I remember it was like 1K and it was 666, 6,666. So you have to go settings, you have to type in 1,000. Okay, and you have to go to top frequency, you have to type in 6,666. Okay, and then you do that, and then you get the filter. So this is what should happen to our pink noise through our bandpass at the main listening position. And the green is what actually happened. But what should happen is that little difference. So we're adding that difference. So now we're going to add a whole bunch of this, not so much of this, and not so much of that. And what I do is, just to get a rough gain, look at this side, rough gain around 10 dB or something, and just make sure you put 10 dB up here instead of minus 10, so 10. Yeah, minus 10, I'll cancel that. Yeah, so it's adding roughly 10, so take minus 10. That was just a good, lucky convenience. And then make sure that's on the channel you want to process, right or left, and then copy it, or make a copy of this plugin and then put it in your chain, or however you want to do it. Make a preset. I just like to, I think I actually got that plugin and copied it and put it into the high mid track. So while I'm here, I can make sure I don't forget what I just changed. Anyway, that's it. That's how you make a filter in the Magic Beans method.